Money in the Bank was a PLE that could never be forgotten by a wrestling fan. Title changes, returns, betrayal, somebody finally getting pinned in a hype crowd. Money in the Bank was everything it should have been and more. The show started with the men's Money in the Bank match. It was amazing. You had the high flyers, Paul and Ricochet. You had the big guy, Priest. You had the guy that everybody loved, LA Knight. There were ladders that were stronger than damn Mark Henry. Like, no ladders were broken. Maybe they used metal this time. Who knows? Damien did win Money in the Bank. Having LA so over with the crowd, then having Priest win, made it kind of a disappointment. Also, having a Money in the Bank winner that lost to Cody Rhodes in the main event of Raw, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. With tables and ladders, it was exciting Money in the Bank to say the least. It was an awesome match overall. We have the Women's Tag Team Championship match. I like Liv and Raquel. They're a good team. It was a surprising shock when Shayna turned on Ronda. They can have a good feud. It was a little disappointing that the women's tag division champions won cheaply, but Morgan and Raquel are still good champs. Problem with the tag division is there isn't any big teams. There's the Iconics. They're just so big. There isn't anybody big anymore. WWE needs to fix that, or else the women's tag division won't be good anymore. Overall, it was a cool turn, and it was a decent match, except why did Shayna turn? I don't know. It was kind of weird because there's no storyline leading up to it. But yeah, it was a fine match. Next up, we have the Intercontinental title match. Riddle was never going to win. With his ankle that Gunther was targeting, Riddle has to get in a good feud that will last him, though. Him and Rollins were good, but he hasn't had a feud that good in a while. Drew returned after the match and claimed more at Gunther, and they probably will have a match at SummerSlam, which I'm excited for. I pointed out in the last review that when will Gunther lose his titles? I don't know. Triple H loves him, so he could beat Honky Tonk Raid. I have a theory that Gunther's gonna break Honky Tonk Raid because they don't probably want to have that in history because they never should have held it for that long, realistically. So we probably will beat Tonk's record. No promises though. Anyway, it was a normal match. Nothing happened except for the return after the match. But for the match, it was fine. This night was filled with surprises, but this one might be one of the biggest. Cena came out, and London had a huge pop. With London's insane atmosphere, it would be a fun WrestleMania to say the least. London also deserves it a lot. Grayson Waller came out and pushed for Mania in Australia. Waller was healing on Cena in London, and it was good. I want Mania to come to London, but Australia would be a fun Mania too. It was a pretty good promo and segment, and I'm excited to see if they actually do have Mania in London or Australia. And then we have Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. Brock could have came out, but that was the only way Dom could have go over. Cody got the clean win over Dom, but Brock didn't show up. Brock versus Cody 3 at SummerSlam will probably happen. I'm excited to see it. Rhea didn't do anything, which actually surprised me. Anyway, it was an entertaining match, and it was overall pretty good. We have the women's Money in the Bank match. In the beginning, it was boring, but as the match progressed, it got very entertaining. The handcuff ending was pretty clever since Stratus and Stark put them on Becky, and Io used them to handcuff Bayley and Lynch together on the ladder. Sky was the perfect choice to win Money in the Bank too, and Sky in a face roll is gonna be pretty good. I prefer her to cash in on Asuka because that would be awesome. I expected Stratus and Stark to prevent Lynch from getting her hands on the briefcase. Overall, it was an awesome match, and Sky was perfect choice to win. Next up, we have Finn vs. Seth. Now, it wasn't as good as anybody thought it would be. It didn't feel like a big PLE match. It felt smaller. The ending fell flat. I thought that Finn was going to win and Priest was going to cash in. Nope. Balor just went for the coup de grace, but Rollins moved and stomped 1, 2, 3. Then Damien didn't even cash in. I was hoping Finn would win and get cashed in on. The match fell short, and especially the ending. Overall, it wasn't that good of a match. Yeah. Now, finally, we have the main event. Usos versus Roman and Solo. The biggest shock of the night. The teams just kept battling. No one would get pinned. Both teams pulled out all their greatest hits, but no one would give up. Finally, with enough super kicks to Solo and Roman, then the Usos splashed her in. Jay pinned Roman for the first time in 3 years. Over 1,000 days of work gone. The Usos just wouldn't die in that match. they were taking lessons from Sami Zayn or something. I mean, they kicked out of all of Roman's best hits. Spear and stack 'em, everything. I was I was going somewhere after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and the match just kept going on and on. At the beginning, I was rooting for the Usos, but by the end, I was just rooting for the match to end. I mean, it was just so long. But I still was so happy with the ending. Overall, one of, if not the best matches of the night. So exciting, 10 out of 10 match. Now, the entire Money in the Bank show was 10 out of 10. There was title changes, returns, betrayals, someone finally getting pinned in a hype crowd. It was a night that a wrestling fan could never forget. That was Awesome Infinity, and that was my review of Money in the Bank.